little work career tip. If someone's being mean to you at work for apparently no reason, you're a good person, you haven't done anything wrong, you do your best, but they're just not kind for some reason. Like they're always condescending or arrogant towards you. They pinpoint your mistakes, or there's just something about their energy towards you that's just off. It's not you, it's them. They probably see something in you that makes them insecure, and that's why they're acting that way.
It's not in your head, Rych Babes. The stares, the weird energy, the way they exclude you but still copy you. You're not the problem. You're that girl. And they hate that it's effortless for you. Hey Rych Babes, it's Robyn Milan and welcome back to A Rich Girl's Glow Up. Today we're talking about the unspoken tension some of us face at work. Not because we're rude, not because we're incompetent, because we walk in with presence, power, peace, and they can't figure out why the room shifts when you enter. So let's talk about the 5 signs that you are public enemy number 1 at work. And how to stay rich in energy, success, confidence when you're surrounded by low vibrational coworkers. Okay? Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be back shortly.
I'm so sick of this job, and let me tell y'all why. It seems like every day I come in this bitch and it's a new rule or a new issue with something I'm doing. And you might be like, why you got that napkin tucked in your shirt? It's because I'm eating lunch in my car. You want to know why I'm eating lunch in my car instead of at my desk in my fucking office? Because the district manager comes in today like he always does. He knocks on my door because my door is always closed. It's cold as fuck in there. I keep the heat on. Everybody complain about my heat being on, so I keep my door closed. Cool. He knocks on my door. He comes in and he's like, yeah, I see that door is closed. And I'm like, yeah, it's always closed. Like he said it every time he come here. It's always closed. And he's like, well, I just need you to leave the door open because we have an open door policy, blah, blah, blah. So I said open door policy typically refers to higher ups and managers letting you know that their door is always open. You can come in and talk to them. I'm not a higher up. I'm not a manager. My door doesn't need to be open 24/7. If somebody needs to talk to me, they can come in and talk to me. They don't knock on my door no way. They just bust that bitch in when they need to come in there. And he like, well, it just sends the wrong message. It just seems like you're not a part of the team. That's not very welcoming. I said I talk to my coworkers every single day. You know I talk to my coworkers every single day. And they know I talk to them every single day. And they know that if they need something, they can come in here. And he's like, well, it just doesn't give that. It needs to give the illusion that blah, blah, blah. I'm not hearing that. I'm really not. I just don't understand why my door being closed affects y'all so fucking much. It's not hindering nobody from doing their job. It ain't preventing you from getting in touch with me whenever you need to. And it's not affecting my work performance. So why is it such an issue? Why is it mandatory for me to have my fucking door open? And then he's like, well, what if it makes somebody else feel like they can't approach you or they're uncomfortable because they won't feel like they're bothering you, blah, blah, blah. If they felt uncomfortable or like they were bothering me, they would not bust in that bitch 24/7 without knocking. And they wouldn't say half the shit they say. And then he's like, well, we're just going to work on keeping it open for now. Like, how do we feel about that? How's that? I feel like I don't have a fucking choice. That's what I feel like. I don't understand why it's so hard to mind your business and leave me the fuck alone. I really don't understand. Motherfuckers be at this job doing everything on God's green earth. But me closing my fucking office doors where you draw the line, bitch.
How you deal with haters at work? It's a real thing. Sometimes you can come into the office and you could just feel it, right? Most of the time, people who give off that vibe is because they usually are jealous or envious of you. But what we're doing out here, we're living our better versions of ourselves, and we're going to show up with the confidence and the boldness. And despite the people around you, because they can't be like you, we can't control them, but we can control ourselves. So continue to work with that confidence level that I know you have. Is your HR girly here giving you the secrets?
You want to know why they team up against you? Hear me out. Because you're a powerful force. Too powerful for them to go one-on-one with you. So they have to team up, join a clique or a gang. And within that clique they trying to break you, trying to pull you down, try to say bad things about you, trying to leave you out of things. But it's okay, because that's what they need in order to bring you down. And that won't work either. They try to break you down, but they can't break you down because you're too powerful. And that's the reason why they team up against you. You have to understand your own power that you hold, your strength, your resilience. Don't let them in. Don't let them know what you're doing next. Just do it. Be all action. That's what you're about. Your natural aura, a natural light that shines. And keep that mystery to you, because you know what? Privacy equals happiness, and you are you. Don't change for nobody.
If you are a Black woman who is pretty and quiet, how is the work environment treating you? Probably awful, right? And one of the main justifications for why that is the pet to threat theory. And also they have this idea that we are subconsciously supposed to be performing for the validation of our other counterparts. You see, when you are quiet, there is a level of mystery that is associated with that. When you are loud, you are considered obnoxious. When you are somebody that is comfortable being reserved in your nature, you are going to make a lot of people in the office upset because they associate your quietness with, you being pompous and you being stush. But also, it's a demonstration of boundaries to many, and many people dislike that. If you are Black and you're good at your job, they are not going to like that because they see you as a threat. If you are pretty, there is a level of, mating, rivalry, evolutionary biology that takes place within them. And also they do not believe that Black people should be that pretty. So when they see a pretty Black person, it's like, what the heck? And 3, if you're quiet, they associate that with you being stuck up and rude, which I think is insane, provided that, I'm just minding my business. And many people don't like when you mind your business because you're not telling your business as a part of minding your business. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's something you're going to have to deal with. It's okay.
Sabotage at work does not look like what you would think. You'd think it's all about criticizing you or gossiping about you, but it's the sneaky ways that behind the scenes, they make sure that you're not going to move up. One way that this plays out is that they set unrealistic deadlines. They give you this massive assignment that's due within 48 hours, and you're expected to complete all the work within this compressed time frame. If the quality suffers or if you miss the deadline, they spin it to show that you're not capable or that you can't handle high pressure. People who sabotage also act as though they're your supervisor, even though they don't have that title. They boss you around, they criticize the things that you're doing, they micromanage you as if they're your boss. They want to ensure that they have power over you. Another sign is constant miscommunication. They accidentally leave you off of emails and communications. They give you the wrong dates and times for meetings. It seems like every interaction with them is some sort of misunderstanding or miscommunication. One miscommunication, you give them a pass, but 2, 3, 4 times is a pattern. Have you ever encountered these types of situations with your colleagues or leaders at work? Let me know your experiences in the comments and follow me for more mental health at work content.
When you've been around for a while, you know damn well you make some people uncomfortable, okay? The people who you make uncomfortable should be uncomfortable, okay? Because they usually are the people up to no damn good, talking about you behind your back, trying to sabotage your work and your reputation, and also the people who are scared of you because they know that with one eye closed and an arm in a sling and you sitting in a wheelchair, you can outperform their asses. So yeah, you intimidate people. Yeah, you make people uncomfortable. But the right people who are like you, who are competent and calm and good and kind, are never uncomfortable in your presence. Never forget that, and don't let them motherfuckers gaslight you about talking about you make people uncomfortable. Yeah, I make your ass uncomfortable for a good damn reason.
Around 30 million, or 1 in 9 U.S. workers, experience their workplace as toxic, according to research conducted by MIT Sloan School of Management. Most of us have experienced these environments where people behave badly across levels. This behavior goes without consequences, and it fosters a workplace or culture where you don't feel safe, seen, or valued. Your, and likely everyone else's, work product reflects this and isn't optimal. Trust, respect, and transparency are non-existent, and it feels like everyone is on their own. People are disengaged, they're stressed, and there are several reasons for this. But in my rather extensive experience with senior leaders, they are the problem. Whether through acts of omission, as in being passive, doing nothing, or commission, consciously pitting people against one another, or driving their egotistical agenda forward, at the expense of the team or the organization.
So, Rych Babes, here are my 5 signs to tell that you are public enemy number 1. Number 1 is they watch you real close, but rarely speak to you. They peep the outfits. They listen when you speak up. They take notes, but they won't compliment you. You're a silent threat, and your glow makes them uncomfortable. Number 2 is they exclude you from group chats, lunches, and side conversations. It's giving intentional isolation, but guess what? You're not meant to fit in. You're the energy they can't duplicate. So they try to silence it. The next sign is that they try to correct you on things that don't even matter. Your tone, your wording, your boundaries. They can't find a real issue, so they nitpick what makes you you. It's microaggression dressed in professionalism. Okay, listen, let's talk about it. Number 4 is they pretend to not see your wins. You're getting results, you're being consistent, but crickets. They won't clap, they won't repost, they won't acknowledge you in the meetings. Why? Because your light is a mirror for what they're not doing. And number 5 is you make them nervous without saying a word. It's not arrogance, it's you being authentic. You walk in knowing who you are. You don't perform, you don't gossip, you just glow. And that kind of confidence is intimidating to the unhealed, okay?
Do not get me started on jealous and envious women in the workplace. That is the most scariest, because if you notice that a family member or a friend is jealous of you, most likely you could cut them off if you're not living with the family member. But in the workplace, them bitches is evil as fuck. Jealousy and envy from a woman in the workplace is the worst type of jealousy and envy to experience. After, I'm gonna say family first, and after the family, it would be the workplace. When women in the workplace are jealous of you, we have so many different tactics. I don't even know where to start. All right, so some will flat out not like you. They will dislike you. They will talk about you every chance that they get, and they will have no reason for not liking you. Like you could have never interacted with this person or with this other woman, and they just don't like you. So they don't like you for no reason. They wait and find any opportunity to speak on you every chance that they get. They will spread false things about you, make up rumors, especially if there's men in the workplace as well, and the men take a liking to you. It's quiet. Bitches is gonna hate you. They will like make up all sorts of rumors and say that you doing stuff and accuse you of doing stuff with the men in the workplace, even if you're not. So you have the ones that are jealous of you and envious of you, and that just won't flat out like you. And those is the ones like I would rather prefer, because these next ones I'm about to talk about are the devil himself. I forgot to mention, they are also quick to just believe anything that they are told about you. So any bad news that they hear about you, they're just quick to just believe it and hop on instead of questioning it. Like, I don't know her, so I don't really think she'll do. They're just quick to believe it. Okay, so now these next set of women in the workplace that are the devil himself, they will pretend to like you. They will get close with you or try to pretend to fake be friendly and get close with you, and then behind your back speak on you to others. Behind your back try to destroy your image and your name, but will smile in your face. Yo, those is the worst, I swear to God. A lot of the time, it be older women too. I really hate saying that. Or it don't even have to be older women. It could just be like any woman that finds you a threat because of your looks, because of your work ethic. I remember one time I was working in this place, and I feel like it's been long enough for me to talk about it. I'm not going to say her name, but I was working in this place, and there was another woman there. She was way older than me, but she looked so young. Like, she looked like she could be my age. I never really went out of my way to speak to her. I would speak here and there, but for the most part, she went out of her way to speak to me, talk to me, come sit next to me and talk to me, have conversation with me, just to find out tea on me and go run her mouth to other people about me, about like what I've spoken to her about. Was smiling my face, but talking bad about me behind my back. And mind you, she was 30. She was in her 30s, moving like she was still in high school. Like, that's something girls my age and younger be doing. Like, that's very childish. But that just showed me that age really doesn't mean anything about maturity. I had multiple people coming back to me telling me like, hey, this person said this, or things just coming up with other people telling me what she was saying about me when I wasn't there. But when I was there, was smiling my face, be friendly to my face, but behind my back, running her mouth talking about me badly. Those are the worst type. The ones that will smile in your face.
This is something I wanted to talk about on here anyways, so I'm glad you brought it up. I've been in work environments where I was the only woman on the team. I've been in an entire company where I was the only Black woman employed at the company. So I understand the frustration and the stress that this kind of situation can cause. You have to become okay with people not liking you. One thing I learned while working in public relations is that if people are trying to twist a narrative about you and take your words and turn it into something that it was never intended to be, the best thing that you can do is actually to just let them have that narrative. Unfortunately, when you attempt to defend yourself and you get to over-explaining and trying to debate why people would even say such a thing about you, you start to look guilty. That is just how the human brain perceives rebuttals. I don't know what race or ethnicity you are, but if you are a person of color, and if it did come down to your word against this other person's word, who is a non-person of color, the best defense mechanism that you would have at that point would be just the evidence of your work. If you are still employed with this company, it is because they saw value in something that you were contributing to the company. And as long as who you are and what you do, what values you uphold, don't interfere with that company's ability to succeed and thrive, you are fine. You have to remember that you are there to do a job. And I know it's hard to be productive when your personal feelings are being agitated, but as humans, and especially as women, we have to learn how to just move out of logic. Because being overly emotional, trying to argue and debate with people, especially in a workplace setting, will completely just mess up what you have going on there. The best advice that I could give you here is to just focus on the work that you're there to do and do it well. You can't pay attention to what other people are saying about you because people are always going to have their own narrative. And also, when people are dissatisfied with their lives, when they don't have anything going on, they need to pick apart someone else's life to make them feel better. But if it does become abusive, I never encourage people to stay in abusive situations, work environments. It does not matter. If it gets to that point, I would encourage you to start looking for other places of employment. Because despite what you see on TikTok and just on the internet, there are companies that are still hiring, and there are companies that exist that will value you and respect you. I have found them. I work for one now, and leaving other companies was the best decision that I've made.
When you're being isolated at work because a jealous coworker is targeting you, the best thing that you can do is to not react and don't show any vulnerability or emotions. And let me explain why. When a coworker perceives you to be a threat at work, they usually play games with you to try and 1, inflict pain on you by making your work life a living hell, or 2, to try and knock you down to the bottom of the food chain at work. Or 3, they can take it as far as trying to get you fired. So the way the game works is like this. The jealous coworker is going to set you up to get isolated. How do they do it? What they'll do is they're going to influence your other coworkers to turn against you. And if you're wondering, well, how are they going to influence others to turn against me? It's actually very easy. Most people are like sheep, you know? They don't know how to form their own opinions. All All that needs to happen is for one person to say this about you, and then that person hears it, and then pretty soon collectively, like, they're all believing the same thing because they're like sheep. All the jealous coworker has to do in the office is make it a trend to turn against you, and everybody will hop on the trend. And the jealous person who is targeting you, more than likely you're not their first target. They've done this many times before, so you're not their first rodeo. So they know how it works. Now, you'll notice that you're getting isolated at work because you'll just sense the vibe with your coworkers, right? They start to try avoiding you. And then you'll notice that your work life is beginning to be stressful because they're micromanaging you now, right? They're watching everything you do. Every little mistake will be pointed out. And then you'll notice that you get blamed for things. Most times when we're in situations like that, we begin to fold, right? We start to show our frustration. We show our stress. We start to question things. We start defending ourselves, right? But that's the worst thing you can do because the jealous coworker is watching you. And seeing you get stressed, seeing you react, is giving them a thrill. So when you start to notice that they keep pointing out your mistakes, no matter how minor it is, right? Instead of getting defensive and, pointing out that it's not fair, which is true, but they don't care. What you're gonna do is step up to the plate, all right? This is gonna take effort on your side, but you are gonna make sure that every day when you come to work, that you are always going to be in front of the problem to make sure that there's no problem, okay? You're going to watch the things that you're doing, making sure you're doing things right. If you're thinking, oh, that's ridiculous, I'm not going to do all that. No, this is part of the game. This is how you play it. Somebody is playing games to try and sabotage you. What you're going to do is step up to the plate, and you are not going to fold. And then when you start to notice coworkers not including you, right? Maybe they didn't invite you to the meeting. Or if they did invite you, they invited you like last minute. Or if they're having little conversations and you're not included, or they're avoiding you. What you're going to do is you're going to act like you don't notice, okay? You are going to stay above it, all right? Next, if ever anybody's doing things or saying things to try and provoke you, right, to try and get you to act out of character, you are going to gray rock them, okay? You will not engage. You will not fall for the trap. When you do this, when you don't give your energy, when you don't give any reaction, right? When you stay above the game, this is going to make them confused. It's going to make them bored. And eventually, whatever game that they were trying to set up, it's no longer going to be fun for them because they're not getting out of you what they wanted. Right? They're not getting the result that they were trying to get. You are not falling for the traps that they were setting for you. And if you keep up with that, this trend of trying to sabotage you will usually die out because you're making it boring. You're not giving them the thrill that they were wanting to get out of it. This is why in a lot of my content, I have a series going on. It's called How to Protect Yourself. And a lot of the steps that I have on there is about self-mastery and self-control, right? Working on yourself, because when people are playing games with you, they are usually setting it up for you to play yourself. So self-mastery and self-control is key to playing the game and winning. And just in case anyone asks, to hold this jealous ass, toxic ass, ugly ass person accountable, what you're not going to do is confront them about it. Because if you come to them and say, hey, I noticed that this, why are you, they're just going to deny it. They're not going to admit it. They're not going to admit that. They're going to make you look crazy. Because a lot of the things that they were doing, they don't leave traces of evidence. So if you want to hold this person accountable, you're going to have to play a game with them, right? You're going to have to either set them up or you're going to have to keep an eye on them and collect evidence. And when I say evidence, I'm not saying recording them, especially if you're at work. They don't allow that for some reason. So recording conversations or video recording doesn't work. Evidence has to be written, right? Or witnesses. Witnesses who are willing to speak up.
I have had it up to here, and why is no one talking about the fact that no one in the entire world is going to hate you more than a woman that is intimidated by your appearance and your intelligence in the work field? Over the course of the last year, this has happened to me, several settings, several scenarios. I just want to do my job. I just want to be your friend. Like, some of the best experiences I had at work was when I was younger and people were a lot more friendlier, a lot more inviting. Now that it's like I turned 25 and every room I walk into, immediately not liked, immediately hated. I will never understand it because it's like, I'm not mean. I want to be so nice to people and learn all the great things you have to offer because they've been doing some of these things for a really long time and they probably have a plethora of knowledge. Ew. They don't want me. They do not want me. And it is so mind-boggling to me because, like, I'm just a 25-year-old teenager. Why are you scared of me? Why do you hate me? I will never understand it. But you know what? We persevere. And I have a lot of trust issues now. And I don't want to be a meanie. But why is it always the ladies that have the black eyeliner running down their face? Is that why you're mad? I don't know.
I just saw this creator's video and I wanted to stitch it, but I couldn't. So I'm just going to tell you guys. She was talking about how at work settings, there will always be a woman or a group of women that do not like you. And the way that you can pick up on this is through their actions, how they treat you. They might come into the work environment, say hi to everyone else, and not say hi to you. They might do just little things, but they're showing you that they do not like you. So I have a story about this. A job that I used to work at previously, it was really cliquey. Very cliquey. The women were a lot older. And let me tell you, when you work sometimes with older women and you come into the space and you might be a little younger, maybe you're pretty, maybe you care about how you look, you will automatically be a target. That's a whole nother video. However, in my case, I was younger than most of the people on my team and I would dress up to work. Now, this was like an office job. We were working with some pretty high executives, and I thought that we were supposed to come dressed up looking nice every day, but I realized very quickly that no one on my team ever did that. But instead of me conforming to the ways that the other women would dress and things, I was like, you know what? I'm still going to be cute. I still want to look nice. I still want to dress up. I'm not going to do like what these other girls do. Instant target. So there was this one girl, she was a worker bee. She was always at work, never wanted to work from home, never took a day off. And I realized very quickly that she did not like me. And this is basically how I started to find out. She would come into work, say hi to everyone, never say hi to me. Whenever she would come up to me and ask me for things or ask me to do something, she would never look me in the eyes. That is also a clear sign that someone does not like you, is if you're having a conversation with them and they can't look you in the eyes. Also, another slight psychology tip is that if you're in a group setting and you're talking to people, look down at their feet. You're able to tell if someone likes you by the direction of where their feet are faced. If you're in a circle and people's feet are faced towards you, that is a good sign that they like you. They're engaged in the conversation with you. They want to be in the conversation with you. But if you notice that their feet is turned outwards or turned to another person and you're the person speaking and maybe they don't turn to hear what you're saying or look at you, they don't like you. Another thing that she used to do is she'd be at her desk, and if I'd go up to her desk, mind you, her computer would be facing it was cubicle style. So computers face this way, which means that her back was faced towards me, right? So I'd come up to her desk and I'd be like, hi, I just have a quick question. She'd stay on her computer and be typing. And instead of like turning around to answer me or to look at me, to engage with me, she'd be like, yeah, it's over there. Yep, you can just go get it. And like, she would never look at me. She would just keep her eyes on her computer, never turn around, never nothing. That's how I knew she didn't like me. But then also, really where it took a turning point is when they hired two other employees that were around my age. And for the longest time when I worked there, I wasn't really cool with anyone. I just came in, did my work, never really spoke to anyone except for like one person. But when these other two girls joined the company, I started kikiing with them. We would go to lunch together. We would get our morning coffee together. And we liked each other. We were really cool. And I was like, finally, some girls my age who get it, right? She was pissed. She literally told the bosses that we were talking too much, that we were going to lunch together, all of these things. They started implementing all of these new policies because of what she was saying behind the scenes. And guess what happened? We ended up all getting fired. So when I tell you that there will be some women out there in your workplace that will literally see you as a target and they will figure out ways to take you down, that is why, honestly, I try to be very, very careful when I go into spaces where I automatically know that people are going to see me as a target. I try to keep to myself, but then sometimes I'll try to succumb to the work environment just to play it cool, because for the longest time when I worked at that company, because I kind of did my own thing, but I also kind of went with the flow of how things were for the longest time, I was able to stay under the radar. But it wasn't until this particular woman saw me and the other girls that I worked with that were new, we were all happy. We weren't doing what everyone else was doing. We were just laughing and having a good time at work. She felt the need to put a stop to it because she was jealous.
People hate you when they know they cannot touch you. People hate you so bad when they know that you're going to thrive at whatever it is you're doing. You are going to be successful wherever you're at. People hate you for it, which is a pure reflection on them. That lets me know that this is all that you have. There is no life before this for you. There's no life after this for you. This is it. You know what I'm saying? And people will hate you because you are in a different class than them. You are in a higher class than them. You have to walk around with your head held high. If you speak, I'ma speak. You get jazzy, I'm getting jazzy. We don't shut the fuck up over here. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you do have to pick your battles. And since I'm going back and forth, let you know this ain't a battle for me. I've been to the end of the abyss and back. This ain't shit. And I will never let nobody talk crazy to me or disrespect me. Because at the end of the day, you can catch me outside. How about that? You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy how people treat you when they simply probably jealous of you. They know that they cannot touch you in no type way. Even if we don't exist in this space together anymore. I'm going to exist in another space and I'm still going to thrive and succeed at that. And people hate that. People hate that. They be wanting you to fail so bad. It's like, you could never be in control of me failing. Only I'm in control of that. And I'll never give you the satisfaction of letting you see me fail. That's never going to happen. I'm going to succeed and thrive wherever I'm at because it's in me. It's in my blood. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how much people want to see you fail. Why? So you can feel like you above me? Bitch, you'll never be. You will never be.
No, because truth be told, I done been through some shit. I done came in this motherfucker and been angry before. I've been angry early up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I never did? I never was a hating ass bitch. Never had a hating bone in my body. I never seen a bad bitch walk past and I get on you. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, niggas ain't got nothing to say. Y'all huddle up in a group like a bunch of gremlins, waiting for a bad bitch to walk past so y'all can talk shit. I'm sitting there walking, minding my business, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn around, boom, catch you hoes. Ain't nobody cracking a smile. Everybody just looking awkward. Yeah, because what was sad? You know what I'm saying? Y'all barely look like y'all put baby lotion on y'all face. just dry, ashy, and out of shape. And y'all waiting to talk shit about me as I walk past? Not y'all waiting to talk shit about somebody that y'all couldn't even hold a candle to. Y'all waiting to talk shit about somebody that y'all couldn't even be a runner-up to. That shit is crazy. Early in the morning? Focus on you. Being a hater ages you, bitch. Oh, that's it.
All right, Rych Babe, so let me tell you something right now, all right? You don't have to shrink in spaces that weren't built for you to shine. If your presence make people uncomfortable, that's a them problem, not a you problem. You came here to work, not to beg for a friendship, okay? What your mama used to say every time you went into school, you're not here to make friends, you're here to get an education, okay? You came to collect a check, not collect validation. And the real ones, they feel your energy before you even speak a word, okay? You're not the difficult black girl. You're not the intimidating one. You're not the doing too much. You're just in your power. And it shows. They don't like that your hair changes weekly and still gives, okay? Let's talk about it. Especially in those places, okay? They don't like that you walk into meetings with notes and your nails done. Child, okay? They don't like that you protect your time, peace, and your personal business. They don't like that you're not scared to speak up. They don't like that you can advocate for yourself without raising your voice. And they don't like that you get results without sucking up, okay? But you know what? Let them not like it, because your glow is disruptive. Your presence is powerful. Your femininity in the workplace is magnetic, and your boundaries is unbreakable. You didn't come to be liked. You came to level up. So while they're busy being bothered, you're busy being booked and branded. You're focused, you're protected, and you're covered. Let them whisper, let them wonder, but don't you ever dull your shine to soothe small spirits, okay? Being that girl comes with pressure. But guess what? You were built for this. You don't chase clicks. You command rooms. You don't gossip, you glow. And no one at your job can block what God's already assigned to your name, okay? Period. All right, my loves, become the woman who walks in the room and make people wonder, okay? Secure the bag, protect your peace, and stay rich, Rych Babes. Love you.